And for the final, the moment of truth, let's power our receiver on and see if it's all green. Oh, yeah. Well, what is going on, guys? PTS42 here, and welcome back to Raft. In the previous episode, we made an absolute crap ton of progress, and I actually feel like I say that in every intro of this game, but like seriously, we made a bunch of progress. Let me show you a quick tour of the raft, you guys. We have our nets, which are gathering so many resources. We made an advanced purifier. We got an anchor, a permanent anchor, and just everything, smelter. Everything is going so well for us this time around. So for the main focus of this episode, if we take a look at our research station, there are a couple things that we don't actually know how to make, including this receiver, a hammock, binoculars, a bow, and a basic bow, I guess, circuit board. The list goes on, and I think this time around I want to focus on learning how to make all of these different things and figuring out, you know, what we need to use them for. So first things first, in between episodes, I did go ahead and smelt up most of the metal ingots that we ended up gathering, and we've got 20 of those, which I think is pretty good. As far as the first thing I think we should research, if we take a look at our research station and we go into here, we've got this thing called vine goo and then seaweed. I think I have some vine goo from, we do have vine goo from like the abandoned rafts, and I know I have an absolute crap ton of seaweed from stopping at all of the different islands and such. So let's go ahead and toss a thing of seaweed into the research station, research that up, and that actually doesn't fully complete anything to be learnt up, but that's okay because we do have the vine goo. Let's research that, and dude, look at that. That is so many things we can learn. So we can learn how to make an empty bottle. Let's go ahead and learn that up. A circuit board, which I know we're going to need to research once we make one of those. So we'll learn that. A bow and some flippers. We learned all that stuff up. There's a barrel. God dang it. I gotta get this barrel. Throw that junk. Perfect. And we're gonna get that piece of wood. And hey, why don't we just get that piece of palm leaf too? Why not? So let's take a look and see what we need to actually make a circuit board. What do we need for that? Commonly used for electrical machines. We need plastic, 2 copper ingots, and vine goo, which we do still have a couple of those left over. I think I left those in the research station. Yes, we do. So we need 2 copper ingots, and we have a total of 24 copper ores that we can actually smelt up. So I'm going to start smelting all this stuff up, and in the meantime, we got to deal with this shark and my... Oh, God, that's bad. He's got it. He's got that. I can get an extra stab in. Okay, we actually stopped him from completely destroying that part of the raft, which makes me really happy. I was really stressed out about that. In the meantime, while our copper is cooking up, if we take a look in our research station, we need to use an empty water bottle to make an oxygen bottle, which I guess we can use. That'll give us like extra oxygen underwater, which sounds very useful. So we're definitely going to need to make one of those. And it looks like our first piece of copper has finished. So we're going to toss another one of those in there. And then we're going to come back to our research station and take a look and see what we need to make a receiver. We need a circuit board, and that's what we're working on making right now. So really all we need to do is make a water bottle and a circuit board, and then we should be able to learn just about everything on here except for a paintbrush of all things. So I'm thinking we've got a pretty big storage issue. We have all of these materials and resources in our nets that I can't even pick up because my inventory is just about full. So what do I need to make a bigger storage? It looks like I've got everything except for a hinge, which I might actually have. I do. I've got one of those. We're going to make one of these big storage bins, and we're going to toss that right here. And let's run up top and see where's a good place for us to actually put this thing. Maybe like right here. I mean, it's kind of like not in the best spot, but hey, we're just gonna toss all of this junk into there because I have no other place to put it. We're good there. This piece of copper is done. Let's go ahead and I'm just gonna smelt up as much copper as I possibly can this time around. And I think that's everything we need, actually, to make the circuit board. Where is the circuit board even located in our thing? So we've got the copper ingots. We just need... Nope, that's everything. All right, we're going to make our very first circuit board. We're going to toss that into the research station, and we're going to research this thing up. And now we know how to make an antenna and a receiver. That is super useful. And yeah, that's awesome. I'm curious to see what we need to make one of these empty water bottles, plastic and vine goo. And we have just enough vine goo to actually do that. All right, we're going to use the rest of that stuff up, and we're going to toss this empty water bottle into the research station and research that up. And now we'll know how to make an oxygen bottle and binoculars. I don't know what purpose the binoculars are really going to have, but the oxygen thing, that's going to be super useful. So it's becoming nighttime now. Our copper just finished yet again. Like I said, we're going to just focus on getting as much copper as we possibly can now. If we go into, like, this equipment area right here, the water bottle, or the oxygen bottle, I should say, is in here along with some flippers. And I feel like we should make those just so when we do visit another island in the future, we'll be able to last longer underwater. So what do we need to make this oxygen bottle? Plastic, rope, an empty bottle, and vine goo. And I am fresh out of vine goo, you guys. I have no idea how we actually go about getting vine goo. Is it from seaweed? Could be put into a smelter and turned into goo. Okay, so we need to smelt this stuff. Okay, so we'll have to take a break and stop smelting copper at some point. I don't think that's something I really want to do. Maybe we can make another smelter. How many dry bricks do we need for that? 6 dry bricks, and it's 2 of each of sand and clay. The wet bricks are right here. Let's see if we can make 6 of these. We should be able to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, okay, and we have a handful of sand and clay left over. So I'm going to run down here real quick, and I'm going to toss these wet bricks right here. I'm going to let them dry out, and then once those are done, we're going to go ahead and make another smelter, so then we can just be a little bit more efficient in our smelting, so we can actually, do all of the different things that we want to do in terms of, like, what we want to smelt, because one item at a time, it takes a lot of time, and we'll be able to do a lot more in that regard. Place another thing of copper in there and get that cooked up. How much copper do we actually have so far? So we've got 4 copper ingots ready to go. Is that enough to make a circuit board? Yeah, we can actually make 2 circuit boards. We actually need vine goo next. So once this copper is done cooking up, I'm actually going to put some seaweed in there, and I'm pretty sure that's going to give us vine goo. So we'll do that, see if it gives us vine goo, and then we'll go on from there. So the last copper ingot is done cooking, and I'm going to go ahead and start putting in some seaweed into our smelter, and we're going to smelt up as many of these as we possibly can. It is smelting, and would you take a look at this? Our dry bricks are actually done drying out, so we're going to grab all of those. And what else do we need to make a smelter? 4 things of scrap and 6 nails. Boom, bada bing. We got ourselves another smelter. Now, I don't know if putting it right here is necessarily like a good option, because it kind of like, I don't want it to like block the staircase, but I mean, I guess we're okay. So we're going to double up on seaweed, and look, pick up vine goo. Would you take a look at that? Dude, okay. So we do get vine goo just from smelting the seaweed, so I'll catch back up with you guys once all of this seaweed is done. Alrighty, so it has been quite some time later, and if we take a look into this chest, you will see I've got over 40 vine goo, 43 vine goo to be exact. I went ahead and also smelted all of our copper ore into ingots, and every single time, you do not disappoint me. Whenever I'm trying to talk to some people, you always like to get in the way, don't you? That's your special thing, apparently. I think what we want to do, obviously, we want to use all of that vine goo that we just made. We spent a lot of time making that, so we're definitely going to use all of that stuff. And I think one of the first things we should actually look into making is going to be like maybe like the battery or the circuit board. Actually, the circuit board. That's what we wanted to make. So let's go ahead and take some of our copper ingots, and let's go ahead and craft a circuit board. And we have our very first circuit board, and we are going to toss this into the research station. Oh, we already researched that. Oh, Okay, well, I'm sure we're going to need the circuit board for something. We just need to find out what we need it for. Okay, here we go. So we need 2 circuit boards for the receiver. So we need to make that. So we need to make another circuit board. We'll also need a circuit board for the antennas. I don't know what the antennas are used for, or you know how many of those we need to make. I think the first thing we're gonna do is make the receiver along with the battery to actually power the receiver. What do we need for the battery? Where is the battery? Here's the battery. We need copper, plastic, and scrap, which we have plenty of. Let's just grab some of this and some of that. And let's go ahead and make a battery. So we have the battery, and as you can see, it's got like a little durability, or I guess like a power bar to indicate how much power the battery actually has left inside of it. So now that we have the battery, let's take a look back and see what we need for the receiver. So for the receiver, we need wood, we need another circuit board and a hinge. And I know I've got plenty of wood in there, so we don't need to be concerned about wood. And I'm pretty sure I've got some hinges down here, so we're gonna take one of those. And what else did we need? Another circuit board. And another circuit board, we needed, what did we need? 2 copper ingots, and we've got plenty of copper ingots, so we're gonna take 2 of those. We're gonna make another circuit board and then go back over towards the receiver, and we've got everything we need for this thing. So let's go ahead and craft this up. And we have a receiver. Now, I have no idea what we even use this thing for, but this looks like a pretty appropriate spot to go ahead and put it. So put that receiver down, and it does tell us that the battery is required. So we have our battery right here. Let's go ahead and place this thing like that and turn it on. Okay, now what is it saying? Antenna number 1, antenna number 2, and antenna number 3. It's saying that it's not connected. So that's what we need the antennas for. So we need a total of 3 antennas apparently. So let's go ahead and turn this thing off, and then we'll look in to see what we need for the antennas. For the antennas, we will need circuit boards. So we need a total of 3 circuit boards and 3 bolts, most importantly. So let's get crafting up on some of these circuit boards. So let's go ahead and take 6 copper ingots out. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm just going to take a whole thing of vine goo out. And then I'm going to come back in here and grab the plastic. And we need 3 of those, and we have them. And now let's go back over to the receiver. Not the receiver, the antenna. And we need some bolts. So we need 3 bolts. Do I have 3 bolts laying around in this chest? I have 6. So yes, I think we've got everything we need to make these antennas. So let's go ahead and craft this stuff up. So that's going to be antenna number 1, antenna number 2, and antenna number 3. All right, so we got all of these things. Now, how are we supposed to go about actually placing these things down? Do they have to be in like certain positions or something? Like I could put an antenna like right there. Okay, we put an antenna down there. We could put another antenna down right here, I guess. I mean, those look like pretty solid spots to me. And I'm going to put the antenna down right there in its place. Let's go ahead and power on our receiver. Let's see, what's it saying? Antenna number 1, wrong altitude. And that's the same thing for antenna number 2. So maybe they need to be on the same level as this one, or on the same level as our receiver. I guess what we'll have to do is build onto our raft a little bit more. We're gonna have to like build up on this front side, I guess. So that's something we're gonna look into doing. You know what we actually could do? We could put ladders right here, just like that, and it looks like it is gonna connect to the same height. So if I put another ladder right there, I'll need to put like some floors down and whatnot, and like some pillars and stuff too, but that's not all that bad. Like if we put one like right there, and I'm gonna do the same thing along this side and put one right there. Now if we climb up this ladder and put the floor down like that on each side, is that gonna be enough? Let's find out. Let's get up here, climb up top, and I'm actually gonna give myself a little bit more room just to, you know, work around and all that stuff, just so, you know, it's nice and a little bit more spacious, I guess. So let's go ahead and do that on the same side, which was this one right there, like that. And I guess I could put another one there if I wanted to. I don't know how accurate that is, but let's climb up on this side and see. Yes. All right, so we're going to put one there, and we're going to put another one right there, and then we're going to come back over here. God, we're just running around like crazy this time, aren't we? And we are going to put our receiver. I guess we could put it like right there. Now they are on the same plane. They're on the same altitude and everything. We're going to place this one down as well. And for the final, the moment of truth, let's power our receiver on and see if it's all green. Oh, yeah. They are all green and ready to go. And what is it saying? It says radar distance 1,174. There's something, I mean, it's picking up like some sort of signal. And I'm guessing it wants us to like sail towards it. Okay, so I'm getting I think I understand why we are making this stuff. I think we gotta make our way back to civilization or something. But I think that's something we are going to tackle in the next episode, you guys. Once again, we made a lot of progress in terms of like how we go about doing things. We learned just about everything in the research table other than like a paintbrush and a hammock. And I am dying of thirst. Let me go ahead and fix that real quick. Let's drink some water. As I was saying, you guys, we've made a lot of progress this time. We got our antennas, we have a receiver and a battery. We've learned so much, and we are slowly but surely going to make our way towards whatever is creating this signal on our receiver. But if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, definitely be sure to leave a like on this video. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. But with all that stuff said, you guys, I will see you in the next video. So until then, keep on being stellar.